Is the Khemrian Warsphinx any good in patch 5.1? Like the Dreadsaurian, patch 5.1 adds collision attacks to the Sphinx, which is going to get very interesting because this was already an anti-infantry specialist with excellent charge animations for that purpose. I expect this to be thoroughly awesome. Recruited via unit capacity, costing 1800 in multiplayer, the Warsphinx comes in at 9652 health on ultra unit size. Smaller sizes, less HP. Armor comes at 95, highly respectable. Leadership is 60, which isn't bad for a big monster, but not amazing. Speed is 68, charge speed is 100, which are good, solid numbers. Melee attack starts at 38, which isn't bad, but is far from top tier. Attack interval is 3.5, so there's less downtime than with some creatures, but animation length is its own issue. Splash rocket size is large, so it will splash monstrous infantry like trolls, and maximum targets actually damaged is 5, making the Sphinx hit narrower than in past patches, and consequently do more damage to those fewer targets. Honestly, I think such changes tend to help a lot more than they hurt, especially here. Melee defense starts at 38, equal to starting attack, and that's very good for a monster. Weapon strength is given as 480, split between 140 base and 340 armor piercing, very strongly tilted towards AP, with a bonus versus infantry of 15. 15 is very strong for something that is not a chariot. Charge bonus is 64, which is pretty high, and mass is 5500, up there with soul grinders. Like the Dreadsaurian, there is a missile attack fired from the top, but considering the power of the unit, this is basically token damage. However, 200 ammunition means you don't really need to worry about it running out. It's just going to be going on in the background helping. The Warkitty, as I like to call it, is a siege attacker, inflicts not just fear but terror, is a construct, and does have crumbling and disintegration at low leadership as a result. Interestingly, Master Charioteer is what busts up the Warsphinx in the redline skills, offering up to +8 melee attack, which is needed, charge bonus +12 flat, which is nice, so up to 72 now, and 8% reload time reduction, which makes the auto attack go a little faster. Ancient Stone gives rank 7 Warsphinxes, +5 leadership, don't knock this, leadership is a big deal, weapon strength +12%, very nice, and spell resistance 15% to mitigate spell sniping. In the tech tree, the Lost Gold of Alcarad, researched via the Wisdom of the 6th Dynasty, grants +10 armor, +5 melee defense, and another +15% weapon strength for Warsphinx units, which is legitimately powerful. So how do we use the Warsphinx? Well, now that collision attacks are enabled, you use it much like before, charging and crashing into infantry at every opportunity. You're just rewarded a little bit more for it. Don't think this unit is bad at anything else, including anti-character work. It's just to say, it's objectively better at obliterating massed infantry. It really is almost like a chariot monster. This means you should actively pull it out of fights to abuse the charge bonus sending it back in. This requires tar pit units on your side, but your Tomb Kings, you have lots of those. The Warsphinx is also a mount option, that is, Cetra and generic Tomb Kings just became more powerful and more dangerous on the battlefield. Also remember they damage fewer opponents in melee brawls, which can be an advantage, but can also cause them to drown in numbers, another reason to pull them out and charge them back in, and especially to charge through infantry mats. Everything else is purely about targets of opportunity. The Warsphinx is fast enough to legitimately assassinate artillery, although that may not be how you want to use your lords. Thus, the units might want to do it instead, especially mixed with horsemen or chariots, or, desert gods forbid, carrion. Since they're fast, you might be able to use them to terrify rectangular blocks of missile troops, trampling over them and just making them regret their life or unlife choices. They're strong units generally, so sometimes using them wrong is right, helping other forces tear apart tougher targets, and winning the balance of power. In the comments for the Dreadsaurian video, it's been pointed out that under-the-hood mechanics for collision attacks do involve weapon strength and don't involve mass. Mass would be a factor in pure impact damage, which is a lesser form of damage in the game. That's not to say that mass and speed are irrelevant, because the attacking model needs to be in an animation for this to function, like a long, powerful, charging animation with the Warsphinx. Whatever your existing mass, if you're charging against braced targets getting bonuses to their effective mass, that's not ideal because the charge might end early and we want the charges to be as long as possible. In short, we need to try and get the best charges we can for maximum effect, but the Kitty is more reliably damaging up to its maximum targets with its large body of animated stone. Reliability is good, and I still view this as a net positive. Take care, and have fun. The Warkitty likes to play with its food. Isn't that cute?